waving the white flag. I'm waving the white flag. I'm waving the white flag, yeah. It's my fault. Moving on if you want it. I surrender to you. I'm waving the white flag. I surrender to you. Yes, I am waving the white flag.
Time for another Power Play show with Coach Frenchy, Andrew Lepage, Inortap, and Michael DiVelleno. It's time, Power Play show. Oh, we did not start the right way with the graphic. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back right here. That would be better that way we're there. Here we go. Welcome back to another Power Play show with the hockey coach, your coach Francis, directly for the beautiful Sunshine State in Florida. And we have to go all the way to the north, both of them in the same province, and Ontario. Mr. Inortap and Marco Larabi back in the house tonight. Welcome back, both of you. Hopefully you had an amazing, great day.
It's a good day. I didn't realize how big my head was. Nah.
I know. That's scary.
Huge.
That's scary over there. Once you the title of the title of the show tonight. Tonight we're going to go to the direction of we're going to select one to pick only of the duo. We're going to give some you guys two names of the players, and you have to select only one. That will be the play the game tonight. We're going to go through this until tonight around 10:30, and it will be fun to see this. I'm sure everybody watched the Team Canada beat Finland by the score 6-3 a couple of minutes ago. And then we have another game start at 10 o'clock, and then one earlier this morning, around 2 o'clock, I think, afternoon, the game is around 2 o'clock. And not many news around the league. NHL, so we'll be very quickly about this. So we're going really diving about the show tonight. And Mr. Nartab gave us a lot of name. Honestly, I appreciate Mr. Nartab for the duo you gave to us tonight. It was pretty good. Of course, we forgot a couple of things, but we can add at the one that we go through this. We'll see how many time we take to do that one with this. So it'll be interesting. We have a few people in the house tonight. Let's talking about the people already. Mr. Adam Berger, directly from Vegas. Golden Knight, number one fan. This teacher and the swimmer is in the house tonight. Welcome back. And see what is going. Yeah, I will go to put this down. I'll be perfect. And we're looking good this way over there. And from Finland, he just watched the game. I'm sure that's the reason he's still awake. Mr. Yamo Vartanen back in the house today.
Yarmo.
From Colorado, the boyfriend's Colorado Avalanche, Mr. the champion, Mr. Steve G is back with us tonight. Welcome back. From British Columbia, Mr. Roland. Welcome back, Vancouver Canucks. Mr. Roland, welcome. And from Toronto, number one fans of the Toronto Maple Leaf, and number 34, Miss Kelly. Welcome back in the house. And we have the brother to another brother, Mr. Roger HTHTHPN, abs number one. I don't know, those kind of look like more like a biology with chemistry. I don't know what's going on with HTH. But look like he's doing what he knows. Mr. Roger, welcome back in the house. I have no clue. And the wood is back in the house. The number one friend of Buffalo Sabres. Règlement de la belle province de Québec, Mr. Alexandre Dubois. Welcome back. About this one over there. And then, of course, the Bobby Baguette Donuts, le beignet back in the house tonight. The winner of the Frenchy quiz last night with Mr. Enartap and Alain Vaillancourt, le bowler. So great to see that. Adam said Bobby Ken from Sibin did a story on Cassidy. He's undefeated against the whole Pacific team. The good news, so far so good, but I don't think so it will happen all year long, unfortunately, for the Vegas Golden Knight. But we'll see what happened for him.
That's probably why they hired him, I
guess. Coach Panel, did you hear the Sharks are looking for a second-round pick for Reimer?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit of grumbling around Reimer. I don't know. Maybe a second-round pick is fair, depending on your level of desperation. But he's an undervalued goalie, though. Like if you look at his underlying numbers, he's pretty decent. Not as a starter, but
yes, as a backup, I think he's fine.
Yeah.
About this one over there. He's carrying a $2.25 million per year. So that's a lot of pay. It's a lot of money, second round pick for the backup number 2.
Yeah, but you're hearing the same thing for Jake Allen, so I would say there's not a huge gap in between Reimer and Allen, maybe slightly less mileage on Allen, but he had a lot of injuries last year too. Reimer is a little bit sturdier of a goalie, stays healthy a little bit more than Allen in the recent years, I think, but Reimer is Reimer.
Because now you get an old Reimer is 35 years old.
You're on mute.
32 years old.
I think you're on mute.
Who is on mute?
In our top?
I'm not on mute. In our top, are you on mute? No, you don't talk anymore. He's just listening.
Me? I think that maybe
you're on mute.
Maybe,
no, you're not on
maybe
mute,
you have
Mr.
him muted. I
Natap.
don't know.
It's you, Mr. Natap. Yeah. Let me check you, Mr. Natap. For some reason, you're not on mute. You're mute,
Maybe reboot your modem there in our top, or just log in and out.
Just I'm going to put you out, Mr. Natap. Just come back. That makes sense. Because right now I don't know why I cannot. Hold on.
If it doesn't work, then I can kind of imitate his voice
themselves. That's what you tell me right now.
I can try to imitate his voice when he's talking, but
put him out anyway. He'll be back very shortly. There we go. Mr. Natap.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
It was just showing the picture in the green room as muted, but not on my end though. But it's okay. We're all good. We're all good.
It's all good. Mr. Dan Asham is in the house. He asked you if you think the Canada will play against USA.
Looks that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bobby said you have a lot of rumor around the Vegas Golden Knight about what's going on over there. And Adam said, Dan, Marco is a jumbo size coach. What do you do? I don't know. I did nothing. He showed up like this over there. So that's happened. Mr. William Bennett is in the house tonight. Matthews, Megan, Macar, Tressadon, Trescott, McKinnon. All right. The captain of the Hockey National Show back in the house, Mr. Danny T. Welcome back.
Danny T.
And Ronan talk about the snipe of the battle, the shot of the battle tonight. Any comments?
Unreal.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, especially today, like the defenseman was right, he had his stick right there, and he was able to just release it. At first, I thought it might have deflected off the defenseman's stick, but no, it was like just straight. And they interviewed him during the intermission, and he didn't really choose that spot. He just kind of. What's really cool is they showed a slow motion of his face when he's doing that wrist shot, and you can see the effort in his face when he's shooting it. He's like, "Rah." You can see the, how hardcore he's putting the effort in. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely right about that. Mr. Vinny James 007 is at the house tonight. Welcome back.
7.
Yeah, I watched the game. Not good for the Finland. Canada so much talent of scoring, but not all game was bad for the Finland. Overall, they missed the 5 minutes. Honestly, they did not score that time. I think they would score there. That could change the game a little bit more. But I'll play only 2 shifts at the third period, by the way. So
they got lucky too, though. There was one goal that shouldn't have counted. It went out of play, but they didn't have a replay to prove that it hit the net. So they got lucky. It should have been 5-1.
From Bobby said the Knights are not looking for anybody at that moment, so they don't think so. He's going to add any goalies for they're going to start the season that way and see what could develop for the.
Why not?
Vegas go tonight. And we have Mr. Ron with Kings 20 in the house from Utah. Welcome back, Ron with Kings. And our friend, Mr. Nartap, William McClary. Welcome back, Mr. William. And we have the short Mikolov short HD high definition. Welcome back in the house.
Shark Week in the house.
Shark tonight.
And from Illinois, welcome back, Mr. Blackhawks fan 97.
The Blackhawks.
Going Blackhawks.
And we have the fun fact right now. Time for the routine. Since 2000, there have been 3 players who have scored the conference Stanley Cup winning goal in the same postseason. Talbot, Martinez, and Lekonen in 2022. Cool. So that's a good one about this one over there. Cool. Bobby said, too bad Old B is fight a lower body injury. It would fit with the Golden Knight. Yeah, absolutely right about this one over there. And what can we say? The company got something wrong with our tap. Mr. Nicolas de Gobi Bono, welcome back in the house. Nicolas.
Hey, Nicolas.
Marco not in our tap. In our tap is fine. 3 minutes into the show before. In our tap was mute. Yeah. He sometimes talk too much, so we put him on the mute. Sometimes does the right things about that one. Then the show go bigger, faster. And from Sweden, Mr. Jerry. Welcome back, Mr. Jerry. From Sweden.
Jerry.
I'm hanging there, guys. I'm going down. As you see, great video, Coach. Frenchy Travel. Thanks so much. We'll talk about this next week again. About this, Yann Gionnet from New Brunswick, il est de retour avec nous. Welcome back, Mr. Yann Gionnet.
Salut, Yann.
I would be more concerned with money getting set up with a bank about that. It's not too bad, Adam. The key is to go to the bank with a passport and you can remove the money. It's just if you go AFT, ATM. If you are with Wells Fargo, that's a problem. Because they are not international. But if you are Citibank or JP Morgan or something like that, or a bank you are more international, you have no problem about this. Or maybe Bank of Canada, I don't know, or Bank of whatever they are in Canada. So that's not too bad. Quand on joue, on prend numéro 1. Here we go. And again, I'll go back all the way down and see if we miss someone. And La Tortoise visit Achille from Germany. Welcome aboard, La Tortoise et Achille from Germany. Here we go. From British Columbia, Mr. Luc. Welcome back in the house. Hey, way de retour. Tonight, dans la l'ange gardien dans l'appel province de Québec, Luc Lafortune. Welcome back in the house.
Salut, Luc.
Yeah, mon Yann, c'est une banque about this. Jerry is disappointed because I didn't mention number 99 on my show this morning about Wayne Gretzky, about that one over there. Yeah, I almost skipped 99. I said I cannot use 99. Is the rule. So, but I did not. But yeah, I'm right about this one over there. And then that's what we got so far, ladies and gentlemen. We go through the list. 9-18, that's pretty good. About that one over there. Not many things. I don't think so. We have any signature in NHL. If you have anything, oh yeah, we have one. It's for the Philadelphia Flyers. Jackson Kate, 1 year contract. 24 years old. Played only 11 games last season. 1 goal only. That's pretty much it. The Vegas signed 2 players on Saturday. Paul Cotter and Jake Leschyshyn are the 2 players, and that's pretty much what we have around. So let's talking about. We have a question before. It's coming from Zeljon want a trade. Who will take his contract?
Yikes!
Well, I didn't hear that, but
yeah,
it's a big contract to take on for little production. Well, not great production.
Yeah, like 50 points last year.
Yeah.
I think it's just bad timing, right? Like for Seth Jones, it was kind of Stan Bowman's last hurrah, last kind of kick at the can, thinking that he could make this team float for another couple years. But if you're Seth Jones, you can't really blame him for wanting to get the heck out of there, right? It's going to be pretty bad. But that's a big contract. I'd say it's a better contract than say Darnell Nurse. You know, there you'll get more production. But you know, it runs what till he's 36 years old. Takes him up to 36 years old.
Yeah.
That's so you know, I don't know. That's a really movable contract. But another fun thing that came up today, Coach, is the NHL.com came up with a list of their top 20 centers in the NHL, and a lot of Habs fans won't be super happy with the list. Our number 1 center didn't even crack the top 20. Nick Suzuki.
32nd.
Should not be there anyway.
32nd.
I don't think so.
You wouldn't have him over Robert Thomas? Like, I think he's right there, like comparable with Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas was number 20 on the list.
I think
Not
Thomas
yet.
is so much better. Speed-wise, passing the puck is so good.
I think it's close. Closer than 32. I don't know if I would have him 32.
So that's what happened. Yeah, I saw the list 2 days ago about that one over there from NHL. We have a few people show up. Mr. Alan Vaillancourt is in the house from Kentucky. Said he's really impressed by Logan Cooley at the World Junior. Doing well. He did not start very well, but after that, he picked up a couple of points, and then he's getting there. But I'm very impressed by Coronato from the Harvard University. Play with Sean Farrell together with Chicago Steel in the USHL, and you can see Coronato is doing very well with the World Junior with the Team USA right now, and that shows
Matthew
that,
Nyes too.
Yeah.
Matthew Nyes is these
The
fans should
Fuse
be
is
really
another
happy
good
with
one
that.
over there. So it'll be interesting to see Team USA again, Team Canada at some point. I think that'll be the game of the tournament over there. RJ Calabro, welcome back from New Jersey. Welcome back, RJ. Thanks to be with us tonight. I put him in Buffalo. I forgot the guide. A question for Enotap. You said you are willing to trade Allen if the return is good. What is good for you?
Well, good from a managerial point of view would be if we can get a first, but it's not going to happen, I don't believe. If you can get a second and maybe even unload a contract with that, that would be definitely a positive for Montreal.
If Vegas is really interested in Allen, then the return that I would look for there would be Lucas Cormier is a Vegas prospect playing for the World Junior Canadian team right now. Right-handed, mobile, offensive defenseman. You know, that would be a nice move for us. I don't think that like a team like Vegas could take on other salary, like another, you know, more cap space, right? Because they're already tight. So if they're gonna because I think Vegas is probably the front runner or the team that probably has the biggest need. But I don't know. That would be a nice target, Lucas Cormier, really nice player.
Well, but they have only 5 million in the over cap, but they have about $14 million salary cap open up now. So you have a lot of money over there now.
Yeah, they do.
True.
So they have Weber, they have Leonard and Nolan Patrick at 1.2. That's gave them 9.2. And Leonard 5, that gave them 14.2. 14 million minus 5, that gave them $9 million. So I think they are very good about this one over there. So will be interesting what they're going to get there. But if I'm Montreal at trade, if you want to get something in return right now, Jake Allen is right now. After that, it'll be too late. You don't get anything in return. Forget about this. The red line, it will be bad. Not going to get nothing. 4 round, 5 round, 3rd round, worst case, nothing.
I don't know. It all depends. Like, it's impossible to really know what kind of situation teams are going to be at the trade deadline. I don't think teams would want to, go out and get a number 1 goalie at the trade deadline, because that's a really big change in your chemistry of your team. But if you have somebody that has their number 1 goalie gets knocked out for injury, or if you're really not confident with how they've been performing, like let's say you have a Samsonov guy and or something like that, where you kind of took a flyer on him and he's not really performing throughout the regular season, and you want to kind of roll the dice on another option going into the playoffs. I think it's hard to say, right? Like I think you're right. We probably get the optimal return right now.
Yeah.
But I think, like we were talking about coaches, my concern trading Allen today is, we talked about, it's all about development this year. So to me, having a healthy environment for the young players means you can't be blown out 6-2 every other night. You need some stability back there. We have such a young decor that we don't know what's going to happen with Price. So to me, part of having a good environment for the kids is having some stability in net, right? So if you move Allen right now without really knowing what's going on, it forces you to bring up Primo at that point, and then we know kind of what happened when we brought him up last year. Yeah. So I don't know. That's my problem. That's my one reservation.
The only problem at trade deadline time is if you were able to get a pick, a high pick for Allen, it's not going to be a very good pick, because it'll come from teams that are probably in a playoff position, are challenging for the cup. And so it makes more sense if you can definitely get something now, do it now. But so much hinges on Carey Price, right? I think if Carey Price is good to go and he can give you even 35, 40 games, Montreal does this deal, no problem.
Nobody's giving you an unprotected number 1 though for Jake Allen, right?
No.
Like, so either way, the teams that are gonna fork over something at the deadline are gonna be playoff teams. So over 20 and above, like in terms of their draft order. But again, like
if I can use one, I call Arizona. I gave them Jake Allen, and I told them 4 players, pick one of them, have to go with Jake Allen. That will open up salary cap and give us a 2nd round pick or a prospect, whatever you have, and that's it. That's open the door to open up your salary cap, and that's the way the price to do this. If not, it's not going happening about this one with it. And it's the same way with why they develop Safkoski when not developing Montembeau. You need to have some game. So for me, it's like, if you want to do that, develop the youngest. If not, I don't think so. Now you're going to do, maybe lose him on the waiver, Montembeau, and now you get losing possible Price at some point. Now you have to go with Primo. Now you completely change the data of what you expect during the year. So, because you cannot keep 3 goaltender.
No, I don't think Price is going to be there though. So that's what I mean is, I don't know. Like I said, my concern is, we saw kind of what the team looked like when Montembeault was having to hold the fort. I'm with you. Like, I don't mind if he plays 30 games, 30, 40 games. That's fine. That's good for the tank. But I just feel as though like Martin Saint-Louis and the management team want the team. They don't want them. They know they're not going to be competitive, like make the playoffs, but they want them to be in the games. They want
In the
them
games,
to be
yeah.
some meaningful games. And if you don't, like, the defense is already so young that, having that solidifying presence back there, even if it gets you 8 extra points in the standings, which is not a good thing based on kind of what their objectives are probably, it's still probably better in the long run. If you look at it purely from the perspective of providing a healthy, constructive environment for the kids to play in. And I think we all agree that's the number one priority this year, is for the young players to be in an environment that they can make some mistakes and not immediately see it go in the back of the net, right? But tough call.
All right, Mr. Free Stuff, welcome aboard. Thanks to be part of the show tonight. Then we have Jerry Zuski is still 32. That's the main first line anywhere in the league. What is the percentage of that? About this, Michel Larrabee, welcome in the house.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes, sir.
Carey Price,
How's
if
it
he's
going?
back to a Ben LD, they will try to trade Jake Allen. About this, I'll
Possibly,
never
yeah.
get better chance to trade Jake Allen. Absolutely. About that, I don't
Brother
see Cormier
betraying
a trade, but Nicolas Ag may be in the mix for Bobby. Talk about Ag.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good player. DiPietro
Bobby
from
is not
Vancouver
on the
too.
trade block. No, not yet. Remark is Bobby. Everything is on. Cannot trade Allen now unless you are really nothing in return. If you want nothing in return. Cannot trade Allen now, at least, unless you really want nothing in return.
No, I don't think his value is low. I think, if anything, it's higher than it'll probably ever be. So
Yeah,
if
I
you're
think
going
we
to
can
take
all agree it's the
advantage,
highest right now. Yeah.
yeah.
He's going to
But
prone injury when he plays too much. Yes, that's the biggest problem with Jake Allen. He cannot carry on like 5, 7, 8 games straight. He struggled too much about this one over there. And then we have the result of the Mr. RJ. Thanks so much. Price may be LT about this one of that. Mr. KLS is in the house.
well,
Welcome.
Trade price for the number one, a good go rookie, Jerry, but nobody won carry price, honestly. Oh, John Gregor back in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back.
John, welcome back.
That makes sense, coach. If price ends up in there, you pick, go someone absolute about this. From Saint-Georges-de-Beauce, Zayla, Caroline, and Zenith
Hammond.
Gaming is in the house.
How's it going, Zenith?
And I cannot trade price. Nothing will take on that contract. Yeah, absolutely about this one over there. Arizona has nothing to gain to Ake Allen. They are not go anywhere.
That's why they would probably do it.
Because they don't have no goalie. Look, that's the problem about this one over there. What do you think a trade will be carry price contract to the Blackhawks? So the Blackhawks keep half the St. John contract. It can play for the Avs.
geez, I would do that. I don't think the Blackhawks would, but I'd be down with that one for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Seth Jones at like, $6 million. Okay. Can do that. We need right hand D.
That's what happening about this. Mr.
Relatively
Scotty
young.
LaRock 71, welcome aboard.
save
Thanks
money.
to be with us, Scotty.
Hey,
Yeah,
Scotty,
that's
how's it going?
with 2 starting caliber in Detroit, any chance they can offer all the tea and China for Uso or Nedeljkovic?
That's a lot of T, man. But
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
so.
better be
I think
Herb.
Detroit's maybe in a couple years because they do have Kosa that's going to be coming up, but he's like 2-3 years away. But they'll be looking to move one of those guys eventually, but not
Is
this
too
year.
bad for Ed. I'll rebuild what road rookie price to do for Montreal. I will give you Pedersen for Allen for Ron the King. problem is a $5.3 million follow with the contract at Pedersen. That's the biggest problem. Let's move on and to go where we're supposed to be. First of all, this is my video of the day yesterday, but today, of course, countdown 7 days before I go to Thailand and 9 things to know you should know before you go to Thailand or maybe any other country about the information would be interesting if you're watching this. You can, of course, subscribe to the Coach Frenchy Travel. That's the only way you can find those videos. And click on the notification. Many videos coming very soon. The next one I want to talk about today was my video of the day. 3 ab who need to step up. And it was in our tap and the picture in the corner. When you saw Danny yeah, at the buffet, when he see 626 shrimp and the plate about Danny. Or he was the count, something like that. Because when you go at the buffet, at the Mandarin, they put a corner over your head. Every time you get a shrimp, they put 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what one in our tap show up at the restaurant, see in our tap Danny with 632 shrimp, 8 and 35 minutes. So, you know, talk about the hot dog contest. Danny is really good on the shrimp. But that's the subject one at a time. So there are 3 players I'm talking about. Nolander with, Destel and Gianni Fairbrother. So that's the one you need about this one over there. And then tonight, that's what we're going to start tonight to talk about. I'll talk about pick one player. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to give you 2 players to select, and you have to pick one of the 2. The insider is going to talk about the players, the selection, everything like that. Then we're going to move on. We have 15 match we have right now. But after that, you're going to give us your 2 players, and we're going to select one of each one of you, and we're going to select one of the 2 proposals. Your proposal you have to give to us. So that'll be everybody's going to participate on both sides. I think that'll be great. And we want to thank Marco and Inatap. They gave me all the duo, and I just flipping them. I did not use mine because we have already a lot in the eyes about this one over there. Jeffrey, welcome aboard. By the way, before we start,
Jeffrey.
Welcome, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey said, Coach, why did you miss my question? Why I gonna go after Danny before Yan? I have no clue. If I miss your question, honestly, on match chat right now, Jeffrey, you're not there. I don't know why, but I pick up right now. I go all the way to the top, and I don't see it. So
I think maybe he gave his question to Entertap when he was muted.
I don't know. I don't see it.
I answered it.
Coach, what did you miss? My question: why angle up with Danny before Ian?
Just write it again, Jeffrey, if you don't mind.
I don't know.
We'll
I tried to look. I guess it. For the bad coach, I think Arizona has become cemetery for a bad contract. The problem, look, is they are still try to get more money to go under the limit of the minimum. That's what the reason they need looking for. And anyway, they need a goaltender. So that's the reason happening about this one with them. Shrimp buffet.
If you have any Enron stock, you can sell it to Arizona.
The kids saw Big Barbara. That was the phase. 3 ads to start, Sokoski, Caulfield, and Raphael RV Pinard. About this one of them. McKinnon or Macar, man, that's one difficult decision about that one there. But there are another one we're going to select. So what we're going to do, guys, don't forget to click on the likes. And
let's start with Danny or Roger. Pick one. Come on.
Ooh, brother versus brother.
Yeah, we have a lot of brother in the chat tonight. So let's talk again about the first one over there. And the first one is a pair of defensemen between Burke and Robinson. So they are right there, both of them. Let me know which one you select for that one.
Start?
Yeah, sure. This is tough, right? Because like you're asking me to put aside my allegiances as a A Bruins player versus a
Of
Habs guy, Habs
course.
legend. That's not fair, but pretty hard to pass up on Ray Bork. Isn't he like a number 2 or 3 all time in points for a defenseman? Like he's right up there.
Yeah, he's got over
So
1,500 points.
yeah, so if it makes my skin crawl a little bit to choose a Bruin in any scenario, but kind of have to go with Ray Bork on that one, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, he's almost at a 1 point per game clip, very, very close. Robinson was just under a .7 clip. I know both players bring different things to the game and to the team, but he was able to um, do it for longer, Bork, than Robinson did, and he finally captured a cup in Colorado. So
Would you
he
choose
checks off all the
Bork
boxes.
version number 7 or Bork version number 77?
Yeah, most
Oh,
of the people talk about book on that one over there.
yeah, yeah.
And we want to welcome Nat Lafont is in the house.
Not.
How's it going, Nat?
We have Luc go with book. Of course, book was a little bit better than Robinson. About this, Nicolas go, of course, with Larry Robinson. I don't know the rookies. Jan, I don't always know the rookies. And then right now on the chat of the pool, we have Book at 70% on that one over there. And Ray Book was awesome for Danny. And we go to check the end of the pool. And 69% for Book, Robinson 30%, 20 people participate to the pool. So every time, guys, I'm going to make the pool on, and you can vote about this or that. Roger, go with Book, of course. So everybody look like a Book was the pick on that one, ladies and gentlemen. And the next one, Sidney Crosby versus Alexei Ovechkin. And let us know what you think is...
You go first.
Definitely a tough one. Yeah, definitely a tough one here. But I look at when I looked at the stats here, I saw Crosby with a 1.2, approximately 1.27 points per game. Ovechkin's at 1.107. So there isn't a huge amount to pick between the two. You look at their points right now; they're almost deadlocked. I think they're only like a couple points off from each other. Although Ovechkin's played more games, he's been a little bit healthier than Crosby has been. But I mean, how can you argue with either one? But I'm going to go with Crosby. I think he just brings more to the game, more intangibles.
So depends kind of how we're framing the question, right? If you're asking me who do I build a team around, I would say Crosby. But how do you how do you pass up on Ovechkin? He might break like Gretzky's goal record, which most people thought was going to be unbreakable. So again, if we're choosing between the two, I just find Ovechkin to be kind of more electrifying a little bit more than Crosby. So I would go with Ovechkin.
And then guys that are not always be at the end. Crosby much better leader and all around the players. For Michael, Ian go with Crosby. And then Ovechkin is a wrecking machine. And Jake Allen is over with this, so I don't know. This is coming for that one over there. So it was not market, you think. Then with Ovechkin 9 times of the 10. And let's see what we have on the chat for the pool of this one over there.
I think if you're looking at a player that's more well-rounded, again, I think you go with Crosby. Like Ovechkin, a lot of the years he has probably more goals than he has assists on a year-to-year basis. I
But
mean,
Ovechkin is
he's come around now. Like I think he's improved it category as well. But
But if you're asking, so here's another category that I'll look at is durability. Who's more durable than
yeah,
Ovechkin, right?
yeah,
Like most of the games that he missed were because he skipped the All-Star game, right? Like he never gets injured. He just, either he's sitting out or so just the pure, so not only the like literally the best goal scorer ever in the NHL, I think he's going to be. Two, the durability. Three, it's not like he's durable because he plays on the outside. Like he's like a wrecking ball out there. So, you look at players like him, like Forsberg, Lindros, that played that physical style, and
yeah.
they weren't able to have the longevity that he had, and he's still doing it, man. So I don't know. I
Well,
love
so is
Crosby, like
Crosby
he's
though.
a great player, but
Yeah,
I have
Yeah.
to choose one. You can only choose one.
Crosby for
Will,
me.
gentlemen, welcome aboard. Will, he said
You
Jake
will?
Allen is overrated. He has a chance to help the abs. He felt he felt like Kramer. Not sure he has the market. You think? I look at his stat. Forget last year, because you can blame everybody in Montreal. But the year was with Montreal. He has only 2 point. He has a great average, 2.68, and a save percentage of 0.907. As a backup, I think it was not too bad at all. I'm not saying he's a great, but I don't know when he said he fell. If he talk about last season, but I don't think so. Like, you know what I mean? Like anybody would fail with the team they have last season. So I
And
don't know.
his stats in St. Louis were very good too.
Yeah. So I don't know about this. Jeffrey question. We're going to catch up. His question. With 40 million a long term, what player we should send to Vegas? Let's lose Rouen, Biron, Army, or someone to get back a player we need more. To do that, the way you talk, Jeffrey, you will have to give them a good prospect with that part of there. So you talk maybe a Jordan Harris, a Justin Barron, maybe a Kirby Dak, everything like that. Because you remember, it's like they don't want money. They have no money over there. And it's only for one short period. Next year, they will go back on the salary cap. And that's the problem with that part over there. So they will not accept those kind of players. And they are really,
No.
they're looking for the goalie. They're not looking right now for a setup. The lineup is full. It's just a goalie problem they have. So they don't need
Yeah, long.
more what you think they're looking for. At least they have something specific with a good hockey player. And Montreal don't have. The only one it could be an impact for them would be Josh Anderson. Now you can trade Josh Anderson with Jake Allen. Now you can get something in return very good. Otherwise, I don't see this anyway. Could happen. I look like Sidney Crosby win, guys,
Yeah,
56
that was a
versus
close one though.
43.
See, I think this game is just as much about me. It's a competition between me and Intertap of can we convince people to vote for our player. So we're gonna Intertap. Let's get our debate on and see if we can convince people to vote for
No,
our player.
you know what? I don't want to sell one over the other because I think both players are excellent, no doubt about that. It's just from the time he was in the juniors and at a young age, he was always deemed to be the sort of the next coming, and he hasn't disappointed. And to this day, he's still producing at a great clip. He has better stats in the playoffs, more Stanley Cups. So those kind of things I took into consideration as well. But I totally understand what you were saying as well, and agree with those points.
All right, let's move on now, guys. I know some of you ask a question, something like that. I apologize. We're going to stay on the subject of the what we try to accomplish tonight. If not, we're going to be here for 5 hours. So if you have any question, keep the question at the end of the show, and we're going to keep up what we need to looking for right now. So the next one, guys, is Mike Bossy versus Patrick Kane. Mike Bossy versus Patrick Kane.
Ooh,
Your turn.
interesting. Well, so based on the criteria that we've established here, if it's cups and all that, so you give longevity to Kane, more longevity than Bossy because of that back injury. But the consistency of Mike Bossy, is it 9 50 goal seasons in a row or eight or nine, right? So
8, I think.
that's, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think I go with Bossy just because of the pure consistency. Patrick Kane's been, it's not to say that he hasn't been a consistent point producer, but come on, 50 goal seasons. It's ridiculous. Like I don't think that's a record that will ever be beat. There's a recency bias here with Patrick Kane as well too. You could say Patrick Kane maybe is a little
Yeah.
bit more complete of a player, like more of a playmaker, but still an amazing wrist shot. And Mike Bossy was a pure sniper. I'm gonna go Bossy. I agree with Roger.
Yeah, I totally agree there, Marco. For me, the only thing Kane really has over Bossy is the fact that he's probably a little bit more well rounded, and he has the longevity element. But again, just looking at stats, in terms of the points, even though Kane's played approximately 300 games more, the points are almost identical at this point, at this stage. And he was at a 1.5 points per game clip that Bossy was, and Kane is at a 1.07. Same thing in the playoffs. Bossy outperforms him again. It just makes you wonder if the guy had been healthy.
Yeah.
Just what kind of stats would he have ended up with? And I do believe it was. You were right. It was 9 years that he had 50 goals or
Mhm.
more.
Yeah, and he was well on his way to a 10th,
Yeah, yeah,
39 goals or something.
yeah.
I like KLS's response in the chat. If you're born after 9/11, you're voting for Pat Kane. It's funny.
The vote with 21 people, 71 Bossy and 28 Kane. This is the result about this one over there. Kane is still highly productive. Two
True.
trend time with the hockey, fighting hockey, fitness hockey. And I think Crosby is overall better skill over check. And then that's what we got about this one over there. Was a tough one, to be honest with you. That's the
Yeah, that's
only
it.
one really the generation of player was not the same. The rest are pretty much at the same time. Guy Lafleur and Gilbert Perrault.
Yeah.
This should be pretty simple in this hockey community, I think. But
Yeah.
some Sabres fans in the chat, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these two, I literally, if you look at their stats, they are like 20 points apart. I think Lafleur has the lead there. He was at a 1.2 points per game clip compared to a 1.11 for Perot. But these guys, I mean, both highly touted when they were juniors coming into the NHL, and what they've done is strictly amazing and definitely Hall of Fame material. But I got to give my vote probably to Lafleur. Um, I just think that because of the market he played in, um, he really solidified a team and took over at a critical time to sort of be the next one for the Montreal Canadiens after Richard and Beliveau. So I got to give it to him personally.
I'll make this easy. This is a really easy one. Just for the flash and dash, that the flower would bring compared to, just the entertainment value of, not to say Perot wasn't a good player and did some cool offensive things, but come on, it's Guy Lafleur. Um, Perot never won anything. Um, how many 50 goal seasons did
Although
Perot have?
I mean,
None,
but
right?
you got to look at the team though. That plays
Yeah,
a part in
yeah,
it. I know he had the French connection. Perot did, but
yeah,
Lafleur had obviously a great line in Lemaire himself and Steve Shutt. Uh, it's
yeah,
he's just more of an icon, whether it's
yeah.
because of what he possesses as skills, or the fact that, like I said, he came into a market that really needed somebody to take over, and Buffalo was going sort of the opposite direction. I don't know,
You
but
wonder what would have happened if Gilles Perreault played for Montreal, right? Like,
exactly.
would we, in that context, like, would he have a statue in front of the Bell Center? Maybe.
Probably. I mean,
It's one of those
like I
kind of
said,
like a
the
Berserko world things.
stats are frighteningly comparable.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they have those like alternate history things, like what would have happened if Superman landed in Russia instead of the USA, like one of those alternate history things. So what if Montreal would have chosen Perrault instead of Lafleur is a interesting mental gymnastics that you can kind of do.
Yeah.
But I still go Lafleur.
Yeah,
Lafleur, 85%, Perrault, 15 at 20 vote. That's what we got on that one over there. And look, because I'm laughing because he said Perrault left the Team Canada because Alexandre didn't want to play him about this one over there. So Perrault, Martin, and Hatfield left Canada about this one over there. The next one, a little bit not the same generation, a little bit at the end, but we have Marcel Dion versus Luc Robitaille. Both of them is for the Los Angeles Kings. So they'll give you an idea to pick one of them.
Yeah, this one I won't go. Obviously, if you just look at the overall points per game and everything, I know it would be Marcel Dion. But I don't know. I think I go with Luc Robitaille on this one just because of the fact that he was, drafted really late and had to fight for it and everything else. I'm shocked. Like, I think Chris Nyland calls Marcel Dion the short fat man, I think is his nickname for Marcel Dion. So yeah, I think not that Robitaille was like a top tier athlete, like he wasn't the best skater. But I don't know. I'll go against the grain. I'm sure everybody will go Marcel Dion on this one, but I'll say Robitaille.
I sort of bounced back and forth between the two. Again, if you look at Dion, would have had very comparable and probably exceeded Lafleur's stats, if I'm not mistaken. And Robitaille was right up there too. Like, there's very little to pick between the two. Different times, of course. So it's almost that succession that we were talking about. And it's unfortunate that they were out west for the number of years that they were, because you don't really hear about them too often. But just to be a contrarian, I'll take Robitaille.
Yeah, see me too. And
Oh, you took
I love
Robitaille?
those.
Okay.
Yeah, I love those purple unis though, like those old school LA unis are awesome.
Yeah, with the
Was he? He
crown.
was there for the Miracle on Manchester, right? Or was he already gone by then? He's already gone, eh?
I think he was gone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like, not really any notable playoff success at all, right? Like, did they ever
But
get
that's
any
because of
deep
the
runs?
team. It was
Yeah,
it was very difficult at that time. I think Robitaille had a little bit more success come playoff time, but in terms of the stats during the regular year, um, Dion was probably a little bit more
isn't
dominant.
Robitaille the all-time leading right winger or
Yeah,
left winger? Yeah, he's a right
right
wing, right?
winger. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
right wing. Yeah.
Dion have a career for Luc Lafortune. He said that. Yeah, we just fixed the pool. I put Perrault, but he was Robitaille. Well, Rebook, because he could not do more. Robinson was a beast. Is closer than you think. Could be do more. Robinson was
Or could do
not a
more.
problem. Dinner
I
was
would
with
love
the
to see
Ellis
that.
during the miracle of the Manchester. Alan talk about he took Robitaille Detroit to win a cup. And that's what we got about this one
I
over
think
there.
Shanna had more to do with that than Robitaille, but
And a couple of others.
You're
yeah,
welcome.
Lariano.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have here. Most of the people, and we put Xeon 65%, but we start twice, 17 watts. That's pretty much what we got earlier. So advantage Xeon guys over Robitaille. The next one, oof, good luck this one. Sergey Fedorov versus Yarikuri.
These are very different players too, though.
Yeah, that's for sure.
At least it's closer in era.
Yeah, they are. Again, Curry's the one that has slightly over a point per game average over his career. He finished off with almost 1,400 points at a 1.12 clip, and you know what? His playoff performance was even better. Fedorov finished off with just under 1,200 points. And again, they played relatively the same number of years, if I recall, but he was just slightly under, Fedorov was slightly under a point per game. But I don't know. I would probably throw my vote to Fedorov just because I think that he had an impact on all the teams that he was on. With Detroit for a number of years, and then when he went to Anaheim, and I mean with Washington and Columbus, it was a little bit harder, but he still gave quite a bit. But I'll go with Fedorov, but I love Curry as well.
So I don't know. For me, I go Fedorov as well. It's hard to really get a sense of what Yarikuri would have done if he didn't play with Gretzky. I know it's unfair, but you're playing with Gretzky and like those Edmonton teams that were just ridiculous, right?
Dominant.
Fedorov, to me, like more of a complete player. He played center. Let's not forget, like Scotty Bowman converted him to a defenseman for a while. Crazy, like we were talking about Scotty Bowman the other night. That's a total Scotty Bowman move, right? To take your best center or second best center and convert him into a defenseman. That's nuts. Imagine that today, right? Like Stamkos, you're on D. Like that's just crazy. So Fedorov, I think he didn't really have an impact with the other teams. He did change the contracts though. Like I'm trying to remember the contract he signed. I think it was Carolina that signed him to an offer sheet, but then he ended up going somewhere else. But it was an insane amount of money. I forget how much it was, but it was crazy. So Fedorov for me.
Me too.
All right, we have the pool here. Fedorov won at 68% on the 22 vote. Curry is at 31. That's what we got about this one there. So thank you so much, everybody, to do it. Let's move on.
I think the shot is on
no,
point
it's
so
the
far.
same time. Chicago, Bobby Hall and Stan Mikita. Which one are you looking for?
This is Bobby Hall, right?
Yeah, Bobby Hall. Yeah. Again, Bobby Hall. These two played approximately the same number of games. Actually, Mikita played a little bit more, but the same number of years because I think Hall had a few injuries along the way. Statistically, Hall probably outplayed him, but it's a slight margin. I think that Hall finished off with 1170 in terms of points, and Mikita had way more. He had 1467, but he also played, like I said, he played many more games than Hall. I would probably go with Hall. I'll go against the stats here, primarily because there's a bit of bias. I mean, I've seen Bobby Hall a little bit. I didn't see as much of Mikita, only at the tail end of his career. But I think Hall was definitely for Chicago what Patrick Kane is today or has been.
Yeah, this is a little bit out of my era. I'm more of I was born in '74, so didn't catch a lot of Bobby Hall. I wasn't watching any WA or what league was he in there? Like he left for the
The
Winnipeg Jets,
WHA,
WHL. Yeah, WHA.
which
Yeah,
he put up another 600 plus
yeah,
points
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. You can't forget that. So I'll just, what I'll say for so Bobby Hall, he's the innovator guy, right? Like didn't he have like the hardest, like they timed his slap shot to be, I forget what the number was, but I'm not sure they had the right technology to really capture what his slap shot truly was back then. But so innovating kind of the slap shot, him and Boom Boom. So you give him that. Stan Mikita, props to him for being mentioned on the movie Wayne's World. That's the best Stan Mikita reference that I have. So based on based solely on those reasons, I'd have to give it to Bobby Hall, right? Because a Wayne's World reference doesn't get you there.
94. This is the first one where really dominate 18 vote, still around 20s. That's pretty good. But 94 versus 5, all about Bobby, all about this one there.
And Bobby Hall had 9 years of 50 goals plus. Like that's pretty
But not in a
amazing.
row. Not in a
No,
row.
not in a row.
So
That's true.
that's pretty mediocre then, like if it's not in a row,
Here we
what does
go.
that really
Next
mean?
one, Edmund versus Macar.
Yeah, so
Oh
this
boy.
this is like yeah, this is a tough one. I know I guess that the chat like Macar is the flavor of the month for sure, and with good reason. Like I'm not downplaying that he might end up being in the top five of best defensemen ever. We'll see. It's early, but for me, I still feel that Hedman brings that physical element to the game. Very kind of very low key, like how he dominates and controls the game. Like he's just so big, right? Like how he strides and controls the game with his size. And I think underrated offensive totals as well. But so for me, again, picking like you only have to pick one. If I was building a team, I would probably pick Hedman because I find he's just a bit more well-rounded. But Macar, like he's got the electrical kind of vibe to him. But I'm going to be against the grain. I'll go Hedman.
Yeah, the problem here is, Macar, we're projecting down the road.
Yeah,
We only have like 2 or 3 years really to base any prediction on here. What we've seen, if it's just based on the years that he's played, I would probably take Macar. But Hedman has shown this over and over and over. Uh, he's got a couple of cups to go with him. I think he brings more of a physicality to the game as well, especially in front of the net. If Macar continues at this pace, I would probably give my vote to Macar. Uh, but it's hard. Like, God forbid he gets injured and we have this conversation and his career's ended short. We have this conversation
yeah,
a year or two from now. I mean,
yeah.
it's a no contest, Edmund, right? But if
Coach,
he continues, yeah,
maybe in August of 2030, we should revisit the topic on Hockey Nation live show
Of
yeah,
course.
2030.
The winner of this one is Macar 71 versus 28. Only 14 vote on that one over there. But
again,
Those
we're
young
projecting.
whippersnappers in the chat.
so it
That's it.
was
That's it.
good about this one over there. And everybody is get that one there. Let's move on to the next one. Here we go. And this one, I believe Mr. Natter was, or I don't know which one was, Matthew Kachuk versus Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah, Matthew Kachuk. Yeah,
So that's what we
Yeah,
at that moment.
yeah. For me, I mean, I absolutely love what Landeskog brings to the game. He's well rounded. He can put up the points. He's got a physical edge to him as well. He's very good defensively, and Kachuk has a lot of those characteristics as well. I just don't. I think, with the exception of this year, he hasn't really hit the strides that Landeskog has. So I'd throw mine Landeskog's way.
I hate to agree because it makes the show less interesting, I think. But yeah, I think you got to go with Landeskog. Um, Kachuk, I know a lot of people view him as a, kind of playoff type player. I just haven't seen it yet in the playoffs. Maybe a little bit this year, a little bit, but proof's in the pudding. Landeskog's got his cup. Kachuk is probably a little bit more flashy, like between the legs, the mouth guard, all that. But style over substance has never been my thing. So I'll go with the substance and go with Landy, the Swedish guy who sounds like he's from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I'm just reading the people in the chat, so we'll be sure. No, the Kachuk we talk about, we said Matthew, Luc, and Kelly.
Yeah.
So we talk about Matthew Kachuk for the Panthers. Landeskog was better
Yes.
team to do that.
Sounds
Exactly.
weird to say that, doesn't it?
I know, right?
Matthew Kachuk of Florida.
There's better leader as well. And for FRENCHY. And the result of this one, guys, pretty much advantage of the Landeskog with the Kachuk. 82 versus 17. 17 for Matthew Kachuk. 17 vote on that one. Whatever. We thanks everybody. You can vote. That helped what we had, but we still are pretty good so far. Here we go. The battle of goaltender. We're waiting for that one. We have Shesterkin versus Vasilevsky. And this will be really interesting to see what the people are looking for.
This one, as much as being a battle of the goalies, it's a battle of the vowels. Like, not enough vowels in any of these names. Go ahead, Ernest.
Oh, well, again, I see it similar to the previous one we did when we did Macar and Hedman. Given this year, I really loved what Shesterkin brought to the game. He single-handedly put the Rangers on his back in many games and stole them victories, especially when that team wasn't playing well early on in the year. And then in the playoffs, we saw him steal a couple of games as well, which brought him as far as they did. But having said that, again, you have to project this over time to be able to be properly assessing these two. Vasilevsky has been doing this year in and year out. If he's not, number one, he's always up there in terms of save percentage, shutouts, the number of wins. So I got to give my vote to Vasilevsky here. And he has cups underneath his belt too.
So one thing I'll say when I was suggesting this one, I never noticed there was a Y at the end of his name. So I learned that today, that there's a Y at the end of his name.
I knew that. Yeah.
I guess I never noticed it, but I'll take a different angle on this one. I still think, like, you guys probably have seen that picture when Montreal eliminated Montreal, and Price was standing right next to Vasilevsky, and Vasilevsky is like the same height as Price and pretty much the same weight, and he looked like a transformer guy, like just really bulky. And so I think there's, like, if there was actual enforcement of the goalie equipment rules, I don't know about Vasilevsky. I think he's getting away with something with the equipment. So I feel that Shesterkin is a little more athletic than Vasilevsky. Like, Vasilevsky is his flexibility is unreal, but I find that Shesterkin is a little bit more athletic and a little has a little bit more movement to his game. So strictly because I think Vasilevsky is a cheater, I'll go with Shesterkin.
We welcome
But
Mr. Roger Delaney.
there are restrictions on the goalie equipment, though.
Are they always enforced? Are they always enforced is the real question. Honestly, go
Yeah.
back. I'll send you the picture.
No,
It's unreal. Like
I remember
it's insane.
seeing that.
Yeah,
I thought
it's unreal.
exactly the same thing, but
Yeah, he was
sometimes
invoking
you gotta
Garth Snow
believe it.
there. Like,
Even though you have that goalie equipment that's much bigger than it was, let's say, in the Ken Dryden days. I mean, it's got to
yeah,
be harder to move that equipment around.
it's
I know
very
you
light
cover
though. It's very light.
you cover more area, but I mean, it's imagine yourself running in the summer when you have a t-shirt and a pair of shorts versus in the winter when you have boots and a jacket and
Yeah,
long
but it's so
snow
light though.
pants on.
The modern goalie equipment is so light. I bet you anything Patrick's goalie equipment back then weighed more than what Vasilevsky has because it's made of like these modern
Yeah.
materials from like who knows what kind of chemicals they're using.
It doesn't absorb the water as much, the pads, and
Sure. Yeah.
become heavy after.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just bitter that he beat us in the final too, so that could be it.
Yeah, that part I agree with.
Yeah.
On the 22 vote, a little bit more close compared what we got on the chat because Vezinski 59 and Chastakin 40%. So that's pretty much close about this one again. And then we have Michel said, imagine Tony Spuzo with netting between his legs about this one over there. Fred Smith
Yeah, he had a very
stuff.
kind of like wide angle thing. Like he was really, really
Very unorthodox at the time. The butterfly.
Here we go. Let's move on next time. No, Danny, we cannot put a picture because it takes too much preparation to do that. And the deal was just done at 6 o'clock. So, unfortunately, I could not do it. That's the reason we put the name at the bottom. At least that's not too bad. Pavel Bure versus Pat Lafontaine, both of you. Here we go. I don't know who is follow. I will go on the pool me here.
Go ahead, Nortop.
Well, yeah. Again, very similar. The problem was, well, not the problem. I think LaFontaine lasted a little bit longer, if I'm not mistaken. He played more games than Bure did. Now, part of that is injuries, because I think Bure had a couple seasons where he came close to missing almost the entire season. He played about 10 games or so. But statistically, you're talking about LaFontaine had just over 1,000 points, Bure around 780. But when you do the math, points per game, LaFontaine's at 1.17 and Bure's at 1.11. So it isn't a huge gap.
Yeah.
I just liked, I personally, I love the flash of LaFontaine. I know Bure brought just as much speed, if probably not more, than LaFontaine, but he seemed to make things happen. Both of them do. But I'm going to throw my vote towards LaFontaine just because of the name. LaFontaine.
Yeah, look, you nailed that. Luke had that right as you were saying it there in the chat.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, good Luke. Producing, coach. Did you plan that? Like, did you know that Nortap was going to say that right at that moment?
Oh, yeah. I have full the trust about Nortap me, so I'm sure he will say the right things. I'm not worried about it.
We read each other's mind.
Seriously. Yeah, for me, listen, LaFontaine is a great, one of my LaFontaine memories is that overtime that lasted, like 8 hours or something like that. Like, I remember I watched that one live.
Six overtime.
6 periods. Yeah. So, and, ugly goal as you imagine it would be for a 6-period overtime. But yeah, to me, Valerie Bure, probably one of the most electrical players, like just straight ahead speed. I'm not sure. Like it's too bad that they didn't have the skating competitions at the All-Star game so that we could have actually got his skating times. I wouldn't be surprised if he's right up there with McDavid in terms of straight ahead speed. And also he had a cool brother that married somebody from the show Full House. So all those factors, got to go with Mr. Bure.
Wasn't he dating
Yann Genet will go with Yannick. Roger
I think
will
he
go with
married one of the
Lafontaine.
girls from
tennis?
Full House.
Anna Kournikova? Wasn't he dating her at one point?
Valerie or Pavel?
I think
Pavel,
it was
yeah,
Pavel.
you're right. You're right. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know why I'm focusing on Valerie Bure because that's I think an even bigger conquest. But yeah,
Yeah.
Whoa, this one is pretty good. And surprisingly, guys, Pat Lafontaine win.
wow.
Surprisingly.
52-47, 17 vote. But on the chart, you have more Bure. But overall, so great to hear that about this one over there.
Interesting.
Mark Messier, Jaromir Jagr.
Yikes. And I have to go first on this one, of course. Thanks, Coach. This one's pretty tough, man. Messier, the prototypical leader. There's a leadership award named after him. Invented the whole kind of shooting while in stride. Grit, all that. Center over a winger. But Jagr played till he was like 75 years old, still playing, whatever, how old he is. He's still playing. He owns the team that he's playing on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I would go with Jagr just because, if you're having to pick one, there's very little to choose in between them other than maybe their position, depending on your team. But I would go Jagr just because of the longevity, the mullet, his thighs. Have you ever seen Jagr's thighs? Like, I know people have talked about Martin Saint-Louis' thighs or whatever, but I think Jagr was the first guy. Like, didn't he run up and down the steps, before the game and did all these crazy? He's like the ultimate gym rat. Like, so I'll go Jagr.
And his butt. I mean, he could box you out very easily, and
Yeah.
take over. Yeah, like this guy, longevity wise. Definitely in Jagr's favor. Point wise, they were both up there. One's over 1,800. Messier, Jagr, I think he just hit over 1,900. So not much to choose from there.
Mick Jagger.
But I think that Mick Jagger. I think that they both have made great accomplishments, no matter where they've played. But just for longevity purposes and the fact that he's a physical specimen,
yeah.
phenom,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jagr.
Yeah. Messier called his game too, though. The whole kind of guarantee. That's pretty dope.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty gangster to do that.
Yeah.
And we have 67% guys for Jagr and 33% for Messi. 18 people participate. Oh, thanks so much. This is a little bit over 60% of people in the chat, so that's pretty good. We thank you, each one of you, to do this. Another battle of the goaltender. Not an easy one. Martin Brodeur versus Dominic Hachek.
Oh, goodness graciousness. Like, again, these two just head to head alone was fantastic. I gotta, GAA wise, like, these two were identical. If you look at the save percentage, I think Hasek has a slight edge there. But I don't know. I'll go with Brodeur. I mean, the fact that he pretty much played his entire career in New Jersey, except for that last year. And
He looked weird in a St. Louis uniform. Man, was that ever weird?
Yeah, he did.
to see.
He did. I
Yeah.
mean, Hasek, we saw him jumping around. Started in Chicago, and then he was with Buffalo many years, obviously, before finishing off with who was it? Detroit, I guess. Yeah, of course. He's got a cup
Ottawa.
there.
Didn't he finish in Ottawa though?
Did he?
Well, sorry, he
No,
went
I
to
think
Ottawa, then he went back to Detroit.
yeah, I think that's a
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He was only there a year, I think, in Ottawa.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I loved Hasek's uh, athleticism. I thought Brodeur was much more of a technician and knew how to play his angles a little bit better. But Hasek, and there was always those rumors like he'd been drinking too much, and he would come into games, and you know what? If it worked for him, more kudos to him. But I'll go with Brodeur on this one.
yeah. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show before, but I kind of think Brodeur is a bit. I think his numbers are a bit inflated because of the fact that he played for those Jacques Lemaire teams, like airtight defensive teams that they had during those years. So not to say that I think Brodeur is certainly in the conversation for top five goalies of all time, but it's again similar to Curry and Gretzky, right? Like, okay, how good was Curry because he played with Gretzky and with the Oilers? Well, how good was Brodeur really because of the system that New Jersey played and with the defense they had and everything else? So, and then, questionable things in his personal life too, Martin Brodeur. So for me, Hasek, I don't recall anybody in my lifetime, anyways, that had maybe Price had a similar thing, but I don't think to the same level that Hasek did, where he would psychologically intimidate the other team. If you remember, I think it was the first Olympics, where it was best on best, where it was in like Japan or something. I think it was like 5 in the morning, wherever it was, and I was watching those games. That one year where Crawford didn't send Gretzky on the shootout, that year where Hasek beat Canada, I think he's the reason, right? Like he just psyched everyone out. So just the sheer, that's why they called him the Dominator. Like he was living rent free in people's heads during that era. So for that and the fact that Brodeur is in my view, a bit overrated because of the team he played with, I would go Hasek. Nagano. Thanks, Mike.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. Roland talked about Gretzky said he would take Hasek if he have a choice, and then Michel said about Nagano. I just want to correct you guys. There's nothing wrong. He played 2 years after he came back from Ottawa.
Then came
About
back to
that one
Detroit.
there.
With Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on this one, guys, we have 62 and 28 advantage Brodeur.
Ooh, wow,
Oh, really?
shocker.
Okay.
21
Shocker.
vote on that one
I'll
there.
take it.
And surprisingly, because a lot of people talk about Hasek and that chat over there. So
Yeah,
maybe,
they're too busy typing about him in the chat and didn't vote on the poll.
yeah,
Then
that's
they
He was in
think
their
they'll go
heads.
with the
He was in
right
their
pick.
heads.
We're going to go two more, and then if we finish around 10:30, I'm going to ask you guys if you want to give us a duo, and the people in the chat and the insider here, we're going to give you an answer quickly, but don't start right now. All right, think about this before. Don't talk about me like a Sean Thornton and Guy Lafleur. Does not work, right? So think before you give us two names about that one there. Stankos versus Kopitar. And when I read this, I was thinking about Ron the King.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think on this one, yeah. Or you going first on this one? Sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. If
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
right
So
back.
yeah,
by the way.
I for me, I think I would go Kopitar on this one, just because Stamkos a little kind of less reliable in terms of health status. A little bit one-dimensional, I would say, in his play. Like, I'd be curious to see what percentage of his goals came like on that one-timer off the circle on the power play kind of thing. Bit of a, one show pony, like, kind of always the same plays. In the last playoff season, I feel like he definitely evolved his game a lot more. He had a really strong playoff. But I look over the course of his career. I just feel that Kopitar is, that Selke candidate. Definitely not as strong of teams as when he was in LA, like with Tampa. So yeah, I think Kopitar is probably the more complete player, more consistent, more durable. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Kopitar.
Yeah, I'll go with Stamkos. I mean, even the fact that he was a bit injury prone earlier on in his career. Back in, I think it was 2016, where he missed almost the entire year, and then one year I think it was on Team Canada that he also broke his leg, or was that Tavares? I can't remember now.
Stamkos,
But
yeah.
it was Stemkos, yeah. But even considering that he played 200 less games, he's still point wise. He's right there with Kopitar. Is working at over a 1 point per game clip, whereas Kopitar isn't quite there. He's just under point 0.9. And the playoffs, they're fairly equal, the two of them. But I gotta believe, like especially lately, we've seen a little bit of a decline in Kopitar's play, ever so slightly, and Stamkos seems to be going the opposite way. Like he's had a couple of really good years now, and this year he actually hit 106, which is the highest he's ever hit in his career. And to do it at that age, I think just speaks to his commitment to um, you know uh, practice and staying in shape. So I'll take Stamkos on this one.
I'm curious that what coach thinks on this one. Coach has
I'm
gotten away
thinking
with
about. I cannot believe at 10:30 Amazon knocked the door to delivery a package.
oh no.
They work 24 hours, coach.
Yeah, but I'm not 24 hours. Like, and if you if you leave and so yeah, well, you can
Pick
pick
up
it
your
up
package.
after that. I would say to you, people here in Miami, every Amazon box you see, they jump on it right now. I think the dog pick up everything for other people. I don't know what's going on, but that's happening
Wow.
about this. So that's the reason I go there about this one over there. Yeah, Danny, I got your text. I will take care about this next couple of minutes. And I have the end of this pool, guys, is Stankos take the lead on that 164 versus 34. 20 vote, guys. Thanks so much. The vote, 20 vote is about 60% people, so that's pretty good about this one there. And finally, we have the last one of the night from us. Chris Letang again through Doughty. And look like we finished with two Kings players, honestly. And then if you guys, you have some, we're going to get them. And I will take a note. And then we're going to talk about this for about 5-10 minutes.
So I'm surprised coach didn't put in a Letang versus Slavin category, but okay.
It was to be too easy. So I just
Too easy, yeah,
put Doughty.
exactly. Oh, I absolutely love Doughty. But if I'm going by stats, I've got to give the edge to Letang. Even points per game, he's at about a point, almost at a .7 clip, and Doughty's at .559. But I think Doughty just brings more to the game than just the points. I mean, he's a much more physical player. Um, I think defensively he's stronger than Letang is. Uh, he gives nightmares. I mean, we've over the years, last 2 or 3 years, we've seen the battles between Doughty and Matthew Tkachuk when he was with Calgary. These two are relentless with each other, and probably
Mm.
will continue to be. So it's so hard for me. Like this year, finally, Letang was able to play pretty much the entire season, and he put up some really good numbers. Uh, I don't know. I'm gonna go with. Oh wow. I'll go with Doughty, but that's more my bias here coming through.
Yeah, no doubty about it. I would go with Doughty on this one. I find he's just more complete, like Intertap said. But let's break it down in more detail. So for hair, I would give it to Letang. He's got the quaff. For hockey smile, I'll give it to Doughty because he's got that classic Bobby Clark thing going, right, with the toothy grin. But Doughty, yeah, for me, just overall game. Yeah. So Doughty, more cups. Or no, no, Letang's got 3 cups, right? So
Yeah, he
slight
does.
edge there, but yeah, I still go with
But
Doughty.
Letang's always had a better team, right?
Oh,
Until
well, but wait a minute. Letang has 3 cups, but he missed. He didn't play that whole year, so he was only really involved in 2 cups because one of the cups that Pittsburgh won, he didn't play all year.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
So
vote on
it's
this
a
one's
tie.
pretty even, but advantage Letang 57-43.
Yeah, I think the
22
chat's
vote.
agreed
That's
with
pretty
me
good.
about twice, which is good.
First of all,
You're right.
before you can give us like if you're in the chat, you want to give us your own duo, and you can pick typing over there. We're going to select this, and then I'm going to mention
We'll
this
fight over it.
for the people. So if you want to do that, that's not a problem. Goaltender players, try to stay in the same generation of the players, like not like I don't know, like Connor McDavid
We're
Howie
waiting-
with
Moran's,
We're waiting
Howie
for
Moran's
Matthews.
versus.
something like that. So try to stay on
Let's
that one
have-
over there.
I'm
have
surprised
Matthews.
there's one big one that we didn't do. That's the classic debate right now too, for sure. So I'm curious to see if that one comes up.
Anybody brings it up?
We have one
McDavid
already.
versus somebody.
We have Kopitar versus Bergeron.
Bergeron, easy.
Bergeron.
Tell us a bit more why you take Bergeron, because if you want to
No,
people vote in the
quick
chat,
answer.
Oh,
You said quick answer, coach.
yeah, so that's why I went quick.
Okay.
Yeah, Bergevin, just the track record, just the consistency of excellence. I think, yeah, you could say that,
Play.
yeah, Kopitar, doesn't have the same impact on the game because of his skating. Like, he's a bit slower of a skater, like a little stronger, but I think Bergeron just has a wider impact on the game. Yeah, that would be my reasoning.
That's awesome. And then we have, I don't think so. I'm going to do the poll about this one because the people will, I have about like already 10 show up right away about this. So we have a lot right now, if you don't mind. The next one, both of you, André Savard versus Denis Savard.
Denny.
Danny, baby, Danny.
Denis Savard is an easy one on that one. A little bit difficult, that one. Fiala versus Kaprizov.
Kaprizov.
And then Michel talk about Pete Mahavlich or Jean Rattel.
Jean Rattel.
I'll say Mahavlich because I know my brother used to talk to me about him all the time, so I don't really know them that well.
I would take Jean Rattel on that one. Pete Maravlich, he skate with 2 piano in the back, and sometimes he was sit on the wrong bench because he was too tired to go to the bench. So
But he
the
played quite a
closest bench,
tune.
he would go to the closest one. He said, well, I don't care. I just want to get out. But that's what happening about this. Leon Tresarol or Nathan McKinnon. That's a good one, William. I like that one.
It is a good one.
Yeah, I think I would go Draisaitl, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way too, but slightly.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
that's
a tough one.
Yeah.
Go,
just
coach,
just
go.
curious. Do you believe McKinnon is like he don't need anybody? He will produce exactly what he look like, or do you feel like Tresarol is almost the same like him, or Tresarol need a little bit more someone around him?
McDavid. Yeah. Yeah. No,
I don't think he needs
go ahead.
McDavid.
No, I don't think so either. I see the thing with McKinnon is I can't. I'm going to criticize McKinnon like he's amazing,
Exactly.
but yeah, it's very even, right? Like I think
Very
it's just more of a
close.
preference.
Yeah,
I just
exactly, of course.
yeah.
Bergeron au Kopitar.
But
Farrell
you didn't give
Amogus,
your
welcome
answer.
aboard, by the
You
way.
didn't give your answer, Coach.
We
Yeah,
did
you've been
twice.
staying out of
Wait,
the
we
frame.
did it
Yeah,
twice.
we did this one.
Both of them
Yeah.
are the Los Angeles King. Yann
didn't
Junior,
give your answer,
Caulfield
Coach.
or Suzuki?
Give your answer first.
What?
Give your answer, McKinnon or Draisaitl?
Oh, me, I will go McKinnon.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Next.
And then I will go with Bergeron versus Kopitar. Caulfield or Suzuki?
Ooh,
Suzuki right now.
I go Caulfield. No reason.
More
Just
well-rounded.
more entertaining, more like flash and pizzazz.
It's an tap.
Yeah, I think Suzuki right now. Yeah,
Suzuki.
I know he's more of a goal scorer. Caulfield is, but
William said
I think-
Gretzky or Lemieux?
Lemieux.
Lemieux.
Lemieux. Danny, Matthews or Marchand?
Matthews. For sure.
Again, it's
Wow,
one
you're
of those
hesitating on this one? You
where-
hesitate
yeah,
on that one, huh?
because I think Marchand in time has just gotten stronger and stronger over the years.
But Matthews,
And
man.
Matthews, it's been 2 years. That
I
he's
go with
put up
Matthews.
numbers.
Oh, yeah.
I'll lean towards Matthews, but I don't think it's clear cut.
I
The
thought we were going to
Beatles
talk
or the
Matthews,
Stone?
McDavid. Stones for me.
And I thought it's the Beatles that he was at the show, the first show when they show up. In Canada.
Sure.
Freestar Michael Jordan. All right. Carbonneau or Patrice Bergeron?
Bergeron.
Bergeron.
Would there be a Bergeron without a Carbonneau? That's a fair question, but
Kelly, Raymer or Bernier?
ooh,
Reimer.
interesting.
Longevity.
I don't know.
I go with Bernier.
Yeah, I would go with Bernier too.
Not
Surprised
like
you didn't
a
go
big,
with
but I will go with Bernier. Bobby, Dubois or Tresselot?
Draisaitl.
yeah.
Me too. Good one here. Campbell or Talbot?
Campbell. I'm not a big
Talbot.
believer in Talbot at all.
Talbot.
Slightly Campbell. Quick or Price?
Ooh. That's a tough
Slightly
one, man.
Price.
That's tougher.
Slightly Price.
Ooh, I don't know. If you really like, you're starting a franchise and you have Quick and Price at their peak, you would go Price over Quick.
Yeah. At their peak?
Ooh.
Yeah. Like when game
Ooh.
you're down, they're both very good. Don't get me wrong, but I just think
Quick is just so athletic, though.
But if you want one, if there's one game, a game 7 to go, which of the two would you put in net?
We saw that. We saw it in the Olympics, I guess, and Price won that.
Yeah.
Carey Price.
Yeah.
But
That's tough.
Quick or Crawford?
Quick.
Yeah, I think Quick. Yeah.
Me too. Chesterkin or Ottinger?
Shesterkin.
Shesterkin.
Welcome, Mr. Jose Duarte. William, Saros or Maxstrom?
Soros.
I'll go Markstrom just because of the size.
I'll go with Saros.
He
That's
sounds like an
Shook
evil
or
James
Patrick
Bond
Kane?
villain, but
That's a
Datsuk. Yeah.
Me too. Good one over there. Marner versus Hands.
Marner for sure.
Yeah,
Kelly, you must be
probably.
torn. Like I know you really like Hints. Like you bring him up a lot. Imagine if he was on the Leafs, you'd love him even more, eh?
I'll be
Him and
honest with
Fiala on the
you.
Leafs.
I would take Marner, right? But not like a big, like, I would take Hands anytime on my team. Like, I think
Oh
he's
yeah, square
underrated
player
in it show.
for
Yeah,
sure.
maybe
But
maybe 5 years down the road we might change our mind.
But now we have a
yeah,
good one here. I like that pick over there. Theo Fleury or Pat Verbeek. That's a good one.
It is a good one. Um,
little ball of hate versus just
yeah,
hate.
I'll lean towards Flurry
Me
just for
too.
what he accomplished.
And
Me too.
we
Just
have a
Size.
purely hockey.
Jay Miller or Chris Nyland.
Oh, Nyland all the way.
I love Chris
Nyland.
Nyland. Yeah.
Knuckles.
Jeremy Roenick or Adam Oates.
Well, very
For me,
different players.
I loved Oates. I'll go with Oates.
I mean, it's
No,
not because
Roenick.
you love someone in our time. You have to tell honestly what you think is the best
Yeah,
player.
I
Yeah.
mean Oates. You look at his points; it's phenomenal, and he did it with different teams. And he had the longevity element, and
I'll go with Jeremy Roenick on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Matthews versus Tresarol. Jose?
Dryside.
Matthews for me.
It's a tough
Very
one.
close though. Very, very close. But I go Matthews.
All right. Right now, I take Tresarol, and in 3 years, I could take Matthews. Does it make sense?
Ah,
Because Matthews
not
did
bad.
not go yet what he should be. I think he have another notch to get there. And Tresarol right now is really where is right now. Tresarol is better to Matthews at this moment. But
Here's a question, Coach. Do you think that Draisaitl is better than
I don't know. You mute yourself right now. I did not touch anything here. My two hand
Can you
was
hear
on
me?
on my mic.
Maybe you muted it, Marco.
It's up here. See, when you talk about Matthews and our top, what happened?
Yeah, you see,
It's up here.
you can't trust Matthews.
Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
So I was asking you if you thought that
Oh, we're now,
Matthews.
Marco. We already set up two
Okay,
more
okay.
players. It's over.
Okay.
No,
I
just kidding.
think Coach is screwing with us.
Seriously.
So what you said?
I was asking you, like, do you think if you had to choose in terms of best two-way player right now between Draisaitl and Matthews, would you say they're equal or one advantage over the other?
Advantage Matthews on that one over there, but overall players went out Tresado a little bit better
I
on
don't
the
think I agree.
positivity of the team. I would say Matthew would score more goal, but Tresado would play a little bit more playmaker. It would driver more the play. At Matthews needs someone to. He's not like a play. He's not like a driver. He's more like a playmaker where he scored a goal every time that. So for me, a little bit advantage, like I said about Tresado. One Matthew will be a little bit like overall better the next 2 years. That's what I would say I would change. That's the reason I said I would change my mind in 2 years.
You won't change your mind.
No, I would say
Draisaitl.
Caulfield. Just kidding. Brewery or Selani? That's a good one, René.
Ouais, Roland, ça c'est une bonne. Ça c'est une bonne.
Let me think about that.
I'll say Solani
pro-
just because of the longevity and
Probably.
that's a tough one. Yeah, like very
Yeah.
kind of different players.
Slightly
Very
with
close.
Selani.
Me too.
Yeah.
Rudy or Anderson, Bobby?
Which Anderson?
Now, is I believe you talk
Carolina.
about Frederick Anderson with the E-N, not O-N. And
Oh, Kelly Rudy versus Frederick Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I'll
like
take
comparing the
Anderson.
Backstreet Boys to the Beatles, I guess. But guess I'd probably go Kelly Rudy, I guess.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He made it like
uh,
he was part of that overtime
With the
game that
King,
we
he
were
was
talking about
pretty
with the
good.
Islanders, and he was good at the Kings. He let in those 3 Desjardins goals, so love for Rudy.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Rudolph, he
know.
talk
I'll
about
give it
Michel
to
Bergeron
Anderson.
versus John Tortorella.
Torts all the way. Torts.
Everything
I
about
like
Bergeron
Litzig,
is
but
again, so I'll go with Tortorella.
I like Litzig, man, but I like Torts a lot too.
Anderson versus Frederick Anderson.
Yeah.
Who's that, Anderson?
Craig
C.
Anderson
Yeah.
from Buffalo
Greg
now, I
Anderson?
guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll give it to Josh Anderson. um,
How about Glenn Anderson? That was better,
Glenn
but
Anderson.
yeah.
Marty
I'll
Anderson.
go I think I'll go Craig Anderson. Just like it's surprising the longevity and the success, like pretty underrated guy. And I don't know, Freddie Anderson, like he seems really fragile and he doesn't play through injuries. If you watch those the Maple Leaf Inside documentary thing, you could see that Dubas was a little disappointed that he didn't play through the injury, and I don't know. I have my notes about
He's
Freddie
quiet.
Anderson.
He's quietly put up great numbers. If you look
Craig
at Craig
or Freddie?
Anderson,
Yeah,
Craig.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Frederick has as well, but you're right. For some reason, he tends to get injured at key times in the year, and
Yeah,
hasn't really shown he can go the full distance.
yeah.
Bobby Clark or Phil Esposito.
Phil Esposito.
Not my
Big ones
era,
for them.
but Phil Esposito just because he took like 10-minute shifts.
Yeah, Phil Esposito. Nick Lindstrom or Ray Bourque.
Lidstrom.
Lidstrom, yeah.
Lindstrom. Now, Bourque or Coffee? That's a good one here.
Bork.
Yeah, I'd go Bork. Coffee's
He's
pretty
much
amazing,
more
but
offensive.
I would be
has there been
slightly
a good
with
defenseman to
go
score
with
50 goals?
Bourque.
Yeah.
Is Coffee the only defenseman to ever score 50 goals though?
Yeah. Bobby Donas versus Bobby Clark. Roger said about this, but the next one is Marner versus Matthew Tkachuk.
See,
I'll
again,
go with
people say Kachuk is, oh, you got to go with Kachuk because he's a gritty guy. They'll get you there in the playoffs, but I haven't seen that yet. Marner hasn't done that yet either.
No.
For me, I would take, surprisingly, I would take Marner over Kachuk.
I go with
go with
Tkachuk
Tkachuk.
because what he bring on the other side of the game, but otherwise I go Matt Marner, but it's very close on that one over there. Paul Caulfield or Nicholas Lindstrom.
Lidstrom.
Bernard Parent or Rogatien Vachon.
Rogie.
Out of my era,
Rogatien.
but I'll say from what I understand, I would say Parent.
I go with Parent a bit. William Bennett, Point or Barzal?
Braden Point.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right about this one over there. Danny, Guy Lafleur versus Matthews.
Guy Lafleur.
Yeah.
Guy Lafleur for right now.
Guy Lafleur for
Devin
life.
Tays or Morgan Riley?
Devin Tays.
Interesting. I'd probably go Morgan Riley.
I'll go with Devin Tays.
Devin Tays.
Manuson or Bob Gainey?
Come on. That's an easy one.
Bob
Gainey.
What about Adam Old versus Greg Jennings? That's a good one, Little.
That's fine. That's great. That's a great comparison though, because when they lost Adam Oates, they brought Craig Janney to play with Brett Hall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really smart comparison. But yeah, I think Adam Oates.
Yeah.
Yes, Kelly, both win the Stanley Cup. Norris versus Suzuki.
Ooh, that's
Right,
on point too, William. That's a interesting
right
contracts.
now,
Like
right now it looks like Norris.
I go with
I find
Norris.
Norris to be a little bit one-dimensional. So I don't know. We'll see. But I think Suzuki has a bit more of a well-rounded game than Norris does.
Norris for me. Johnny Gaudreau or Steven Stamkos?
Oh, Stamkos.
Stamkos.
Agree.
Not even
Yeah.
close.
It's close.
Mm,
It's close-ish.
Oates or Greg Jenny
Really?
both play with Brett Harley. Again, it's the same one. I slip with Adam Oates on that one. Jack Eichel or David Pastrnak? I go with Pastrnak.
Pasternak, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jose Sudden or Stamkos?
Who?
Sundin,
Sudden
Matt
or
Sundin.
Stamkos?
Matt Sundin? Matt Sundin?
Sundin, yeah.
Oh, Sundin I'll take.
Yeah.
Mike, you have to go, but you said I agree about Maravlich, but one of the best hockey name ever. Yeah, because of Frank, not Peter. Just kidding.
night,
Connor
brother. Thanks
Bedard
for coming.
or Michkov?
Bedard.
Guard.
Robinson or Connor?
Say Kyle Connor.
Interesting.
I'll go with
That's a-
Robinson.
I'm going to go with Robertson.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Although Connor's a great player, man.
He's
Nylander or
lethal,
Patrick
man.
Laney?
Nylander.
Yeah,
I go
right
Nylander.
now. Right now, yes.
Yeah.
Laney is so one-dimensional, man. He's so
Larkin or
one-dimensional.
Barzal?
Ooh.
Oh, I'll go with Larkin right now.
I will go with Barzal, but it's really slightly on that one over there.
Yeah, Barzal, his overall game, I question a little bit. Larkin seems more.
Kenville
well-rounded,
versus Landy Ruff.
As players or as coaches?
Coaches.
As coaches, Quenville.
Yeah. not a
I don't
fan
know
of
that
either,
one
but-
back Bergeron, Jaroslav Alak. I don't get it about this one.
I think that's
Lindros
funny.
versus Brett Hall.
Oh, Eric Lindros for me.
I take Lindros is an absolute unicorn, like
Yeah.
one of a kind of player.
Specimen.
Brent Leach or Al McInnes?
McInnes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very good one.
I think I'd go Brian Leach actually instead of McInnes.
Marc-André Fleury or Eddie Belford?
Flurry.
Belfour for me.
Me too. Belford. Ken Dryden, Carey Price.
Carey Price.
Ken Dryden.
Ken Dryden, because he's accomplished what's evaded Price.
Blake
He's the
or
Martin
Doughty?
Brodeur of his era.
Yeah,
Rob Blake versus Drew Doughty. Interesting.
Blake.
I think I'd go Blake. Yeah. I think I'd go
Me too.
Blake.
Gordy or Wayne Gretzky?
Gordie Howe or Gretzky? Gretzky.
Same.
Kane or Fiala?
Kane.
Kane.
Dadonov or Hoffman?
Oh,
Dadonov.
For sure. You could have said Hoffman versus anyone, and
Yep.
Would be a contrarian.
And then Cam Neely or Mac Missy?
Ooh,
Messier. But good.
Messier. I
good
think
comparison.
that's interesting. Yeah.
I'll take Messier there.
And then I don't know. We have other people. Price Doughty, everything on that. We appreciate everybody.
Guys, there's one that I can't believe we haven't had yet, which is the classic one right now, which is McDavid versus Matthews.
No, there's no
I'll go with
comparison.
McDavid.
McDavid all the way.
Not me. I would go with Matthews over McDavid.
Not
I
me.
don't.
We have
I just don't-
one season that he's really gone off the map. Like, he hasn't shown me that longevity. I mean, McDavid has
But it's not
shown it
about
ever
score.
since
It's not
he's come
about
in the
scoring
league.
60 goals. But it's not about just
No,
about scoring the 60 goals. I mean, overall game, I find that Matthews is more effective, like more takeaways. He's like, where was he in the league last year in takeaways? He was like top 3 in takeaways. So really, really, like a dog on a bone in terms of his faceoffs are really good. I don't know. McDavid is
uh,
the best player, like in terms of his speed and everything else. But I don't know. I still think I would rather build around Matthews than McDavid.
The
But I
last
know
one
I'll
of
be
the
in the
night,
minority.
19 versus 19, Eiserman or Sakic?
Ooh,
Sakic. Slightly Sakic.
I'll go Iserman just because of his sheer, like the guy is like a Terminator, right? Like he played that one playoff with literally no knee and just like kind of like at the end of the Terminator when he's crawling out of the fire and like that's what I think of when I think of Iserman.
I'll go slightly with Eiserman on that one over there. And the last one, guys, is Malkin versus Kopitar. And we thank
Malkin.
each one of you guys to do it.
Malkin.
Malkin is the, like I think Michael said that last time, most underrated superstar in the last 20 years. Didn't make the top 100 of the best players of all time in the NHL. Got robbed. Totally robbed.
Awesome about everything. You're welcome, KLS. Time, you guys, to go on the Frenchy quiz. We have 5 questions tonight. Easy question, of course. It's not going to be difficult for each one of you. And then we're going to go. I want to take a moment to wish speed recovery to our friend Jose Duarte. We wish the best, Mr. Jose Duarte. Hopefully, everything will be better in the next couple of days. So I just want to sharing my the wish of everybody in the chat. Mr. Jose, glad to see you again tonight with us. And again, we appreciate you volunteering as the moderator of the Hockey Nation Live show. Here we go. Are you ready?
Speedy recovery,
Question number
Jose.
1. The Battle of the Sire. You know, Mr. Natap, he talked about Austin Matthews. So I said, you know what? Why not make some question about Austin Matthews because he think he's the best player in the NHL. So let's start it with Austin Matthews on that one over there. Talk about coincidence. That's happening. Here we go. Austin Matthews has 17 goals in the playoff during his career. How many he has? One he score is one. The tie is 5 versus 5. So one the score is tie, and they play 5 versus 5. How many goals he got in the playoff? 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals, 7 goals, or 8 goals. He scored 17 goals during his career. I'm looking to know how many goals he scored. One, the score, it was tie, and it was 5 versus 5. So the 4 versus 4, 3 versus 3 does not count.
Did he score to tie it, or did he score when the score was tied?
One, the
The
score
winning
was
goal.
tie,
Yeah.
and it was
It
5
was
versus
5
5.
on 5. Got it.
Oh,
So it was 5 on 5 and the score was tied. How many times did he score?
Exactly. Here we go. We're going to go all the way up. I apologize. I'm behind a little bit. Nicolas got it. Mr. K, I got it. Rudolph, I got it. Mr. KLS, Blackhawks, One Week Kings, Yan, Bobby, Roger, and Kelly. Jose Duarte, I got you. And let's start it with Mr. Nartap tonight. RJ, I got you.
when in doubt, always go with C.
Mark,
I'll go
I
with
got
C.
it. C.
Yeah.
All right, I
C?
got you. Luke Leverson, I got you. Mr. Marco.
Well, I'm assuming that you're framing this question in a way to not make Matthews look really good. So probably not that often. So I'll go with the lowest possible answer, which is A, 4.
A. Yan, I got you. Anybody else? Nobody else right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God!
I don't know how many people did it tonight right now. Maybe 15, 16, 17.
Probably B.
here's the problem about this one over there, is nobody took the answer B.
B, right? Yeah.
And
that
so
was-
now nobody win on the first one over there. So everybody right now is equal after one.
Oh my God!
It was 5 goals, ladies and gentlemen. So let's
was
jump in question number 2. Here we go. We're now to consist talking about Austin with the O, not with the I. How many trophies so far Austin Matthews won in NHL? 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 trophy he got so far in NHL. Mr. K. Nicolas. Rudolph. William. Jan. Jose. Blackhawks. RJ. Ron. Mark. KLS. Luc Lafortune. Kelly. Danny. Roger. Mr. Fee. William. Bobby. And Mr. Marco.
I'm debating between B and C. I can't remember if he won like a Lady Bing at some point. I think he might have. But if he didn't, then I think it's B. So I'm gonna go C.
Lady
5.
Bing. I don't think he got a Lady Bing.
Here we go.
he might have.
Marco said C. Mr. Notap. Do you trust your partner?
Well, what did he go with? Sorry, what'd you end up going with?
You go with
I
C.
went with C.
Because he won the Lady Big. The Lady Bing.
I think it's C, but without a Lady Bing.
Oh my God!
So in our tab, go with C about that
C.
one there. But you are right on some point. Because the answer is C, or you are wrong about the trophy. He won the Pearson trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what he won.
He didn't win the Lady Bing, right?
No, he did not win the Lady Big.
okay.
So
Yeah, he's not.
it's just the winner on that one there. So Nicolas,
gentlemanly
Mr. Fee, Noner, Marco, and our tap take the lead about this one over there. Congratulations. So
Kelly should be winning.
the next question, guys, is about speed. So what are you talking about? The first one win. All right. So you have to find this kid, this player, and the first one make happening. You win. You have only one chance to put the name of the player on the answer. So you put twice, does not count anymore. So think a little bit, and you guys and the chat here about Insider, you have to wait 15 seconds. So you cannot tell us about this one over there.
Why don't we just go in the chat too? In our top
I won the Stanley Cup twice. I wear the jersey number 88 and 19 during my career. And I played for two different NHL team. And I'm the Hall of Famer, who I am. Both of you now are eligible to give us an answer. Thank you, Nicolas. Bobby, thank you. Jan, thank you. Rudolph, thank you. Danny, thank you. Jose, thank you. The time is up. So, Mr. Natap and Mr. Marco, do you take a chance?
Oh,
I got you, Jose.
Clue? There isn't a second clue?
No other clue
No.
about that one over there. Thank you, Kelly.
I don't know. going to go
Nicolas, thank you.
Joe
Kelly,
Sakic.
thank you.
Iserman.
Joe Sakic. Joe Sakic.
Here we go. So, the good news and the bad news.
Oh my God!
Obviously, Kelly, she got it, Joe Sakic, but she cannot give it the point to Kelly because she gave us Brad Burns at the beginning. So, she was not available. So, nobody win on that one over there. It was Joe Sakic, ladies and gentlemen. When he were at the beginning with the Nordic, he was the number 88 at his beginning of his career. Then he switched number 19. Yeah. So, that's the reason right
Good
there.
call.
So, obviously,
Good
nobody
one,
win on that one. Disqualification about Kelly. Second answer. The only thing we give you is 0.5. That's helping you in case something could have been a little bit later. So we give you a 0.5, Miss Kelly, but you are the first one. Get it, that one. Congratulations about this one. Next question. Here's the one. I said, you know what? They need help because tonight they don't looking good here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go, it was Joe Sakic, by the way. I'm going to go under, over, and exact. So that will helping you about this one because the last one is really fun. We did only one time the last question. So let's dive in about this one. Let's stay with Matthew's team. The Toronto Maple Leafs played 104 years in the NHL. How many times they participate to the playoff? 70 times. Under, over, or exact? Good luck, everybody.
70 times.
It seems high.
I'm surprised it's that high.
It seems like it might be high. I know more about their last 20 years than their last 104. But yeah.
Mr. K, Nicolas, Rudolph, KLS, Jose, Yann, Mr. F, Danny, Ron, William.
If it's over, then it's even more remarkable that they haven't won the Cup since '67.
So who's first? Coach?
We start with you guys.
I think you went first last time.
Oh, I did? Okay. Okay, I'll go. It almost sounds like an exact to me, but I'm going to go over. Just because it seems so likely.
Yeah.
Less likely. Yeah. Over. B.
Over for Mr. Enartap. And I'm getting all the answer right now, guys. So I want to be sure.
Yeah, I think I'll agree. Because I think a lot of those early years is probably a lot easier to get in the playoffs with, so they probably banked a lot of playoff years.
Thank you, Mr. Rand B, by the way, back in the house tonight. And what about you, Mr.
Marco?
Yeah, so I think it's probably B, but I think I'm tied with Intertap right now. So to have a chance to win, I don't like tying. So either I could potentially go in the lead or just tie him. So I'll say C exact just for a chance to win.
First of all, we don't have a lot of exact so far. So it was a really good answer if you said exact, Mr. Marco. But unfortunately, it was not because the answer is over.
See?
Roll the dice.
That's coach.
So in our tap, he take the lead alone. But we have a lot of people have one good answer on that one over there. So I'm not going to go all the way on this one over there. And congratulations for many of you. But in our tap is at 2, Nicolas, F, and the rest are at 1. And the last one, guys, is only one good person can win. The last question of the night.
It's another description.
And I'm going to give maybe 10 seconds after the first one win this question. So this is guy, eyes with the circle. this is a line in NHL. You need to tell me which team is the line I'm putting the number. So when you see a number, think about a team. You can give me only one answer. So think about this one. Does it make sense? Marco, you understand?
No.
Okay. I'm going
Based
to put
on the numbers you see.
so the circle,
which
Marco,
team
is
it?
the line. Center, right wing, left
Oh,
defenseman,
okay.
goalie, and right defenseman.
Gotcha.
I put
Okay.
a number, and until you think you find a team, the first one
Gotcha.
win tonight.
Gotcha. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. This is cool. That's a good idea.
The number 20 as a center.
Is it whoever gets it quicker?
Yes.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
we
and
make
we're
a
allowed to
mistake, are
answer?
we out?
I'm sorry?
If
Yeah.
we make a mistake, are we out? We are
Yes.
not allowed a second chance. Okay. So
And are we
gotta
allowed
wait
to
then.
answer first too there, Coach?
Number 52. Number 1. Number 38.
Holy smokes!
Number 27. And number 79.
79. Oh,
Oh, this is not in my
I'm gonna-
era. This is going to be a 70s thing for sure.
I'm gonna go. Oh boy,
I'm going to go Philadelphia Flyers.
I'll go Colorado. And coach laughs.
We have a lot of answer, guys. It's
yeah.
fun team, by the way, with you guys all together. And
Let's all name all 32 teams. It's got to be
and
one of those.
honestly, right? Someone got it at the beginning, but I let the play game, and then after that he switched the team for another team. But I will give him the point anyway, because he was the first one to give it to us.
'79. That's the 79
That's a tough one.
as a forward. As a forward, like
That team,
that can't be in my era.
that team play in the Atlantic Division.
Oh, yeah.
Boston, then I guess. To win cups.
Here we go. Ryan, you got it, but Mr. William Bennett got it at the beginning. This is Nick Paul with Angel A. Colton, Adam Foote with Ren McDonough, and the goaltender, it was Brent Elliott. And that's what I didn't put number 88. If I put 88, everybody would get it. So it was the trick of my show, or my question over there. So it was better to go that way there. So the winner tonight, guys, is William Bennett and Mr. Enartap. Both of you are too good answer on 5 tonight. Congratulations. Both of you have the show of tonight, the Frenchy quiz. Here we go. Congratulations, Mr. Enartap. You're on fire since like I don't know when, but like nobody can stop you, Mr. Enartap. Congratulations about this one. If
you.
Marco, you listen, Enartap, you win, of course, with too good answer, but you try to go around him. That's happening. I believe this was an amazing, great show, guys. I think it was a great time. We have a lot of participation. A lot of people play this game. The pool was good at the top over there. And the duo, Mr. Enartap, thanks so much. And, of course, Marco, to give all the... And then I think the people did after that was also great. So let's conclude, guys. Another Power Play show with a special edition of tonight, the Hockey Nation Live show. Until the next time, we'll be back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock p.m. We want to remind everybody, of course, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Here we go. That's complete another Power Play show. We thank Mr. Enartap again and Mr. Marco Larabie for your participation tonight. Until the next time, we want to let you know, be well, be healthy, find a way not only dominate your day, find a way to dominate your second half of what?
Ready, Marco?
2022.
2022. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Sweet dreaming, of course. We love you, people. Have a good night, guys. Thanks so much.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Is this another breakdown, you and me? Should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now.
Merci, Luc. Nicolas, Yann Giannet, William Bennett, good job. Adam, RJ, Christophe, Danny, thanks so much. I got your text, Danny, but I will reply to you shortly. Yan, Blackhawks, Mr. K, all of you, Kelly, Brian B, One with Kings, Jose Duarte. We want to thank Danny and Jose Duarte as the moderator, RJ as the collaborator of the update, and then we have Enough Tap and Mark Larabi for your help tonight.
What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going
So
on
free stuff.
now.
Thanks so much.
Another breakdown, you
Dan
and me,
Ashan,
should I
thanks so
say
much
so?
tonight.
We're
Rudolph,
just putting on a show.
KLS, Luc Lafortune,
Come on, get a grip now of all the ways we parted. You showed in your own way we would stand and we would fall united.
Thank you, RJ, for the update.
Get a grip now, just finish what you started. Don't like the feeling that I've been fooled, deceived, and so misguided. Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know.
Nicolas de
What's
Bourbie
going on
Bono.
now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a
Oh,
show.
deal or no deal?
What's